The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests.
What's going on, my Go Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode number 270. We are live on YouTube. If you're out there in the chat, then please say hello. We don't know that you're out there unless you do. If you're wanting to call or text into the show, yes, you can call or text in the show. Utilize the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends Rod and Shelly Gates over at Aegis Gun Care. That number is 530-364-4678. Go check out aegisguncare.com. If you're a veteran, really anybody, but especially if you're a veteran and you're in that hole, you're in the darkness and you're looking for that light, call me, text me, email me 24/7. I cannot give you medical advice, but I could probably be a pretty decent ear to talk you through some stuff. If you are looking for someone to get you towards some medical attention, remember two things. One, you are not alone in this fight. You have a lot of brothers out here that are willing and able to help you in any way possible. And two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So please utilize the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255, the Veteran Crisis Hotline. We are spotlighting, as always, the United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions on what it takes to earn the title United States Marine, see the website marines.com. And we are a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network. Go check out all your favorite pro-gun, pro-2A podcasts over on selfdefenseradio.net. Let me get this off of my ugly mug and bring in some criminals that might be hosting with this tonight and having a nice conversation. You never know. Man, we're being attacked by Ohio. There are two people in here. We already know that it does take two people to spell the four-letter word of Ohio, but I guess with the OH side of it, our good friend from MK Outdoor Journal, affectionately known as Budget. What's up, Mike? How you doing, brother?
Great to be here, man. No, it's been a while since I've had the opportunity to be on your show, but my
life gets in the way, man.
Well, I've been working afternoons lately, but my car trouble today just means I get to come on here tonight. So that's awesome.
That's awesome. It was great to
have you.
By the
way,
OH. Yeah, and the IO part of this fiasco is Chris from the 740. What's up, homie?
Not much, man. Thanks for the invite.
You got it. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. And then the Matrix might crash tonight with the two Ohio guys on here, so we'll see. Our good buddy who is with EAA over there. More importantly, he's just a pretty solid, decent guy. I guess we're happy to have him. I don't know, but what's up? What's up, Chase? How you doing, bud?
What's up, man? Doing good.
I don't know, man. You tell me. Everything good?
It's been a long couple weeks. Yeah, it's been a nice long day, so I figured I'd come on here and see if I could make it worse.
Well, the last few weeks have been long days for you as well, and you have basically gone to bed. So I'm glad that you were able to stay up at this late hour in Florida. So
I feel like such an old dude the other night. I was like, yeah, I was passed out before 8:00.
Yeah, you are an old dude. Actually, you're much younger than I am, but it is what it is. You act old. It's
no,
okay.
I mean, I'm a night owl, and that was not characteristic for me to be out that early.
I understand. And our co-host on this fiasco, if you will, we'll call it the shotgun rider from the great state of Texas, the tactical leprechaun. What's up, Clove?
Hey, man. It's all good.
All right. It's all good?
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. In the wood, I should say.
In the woods, yeah.
In the wood hood, baby.
The wood hood. Hashtag tree people lives matter,
Absolutely.
Remember when that was a thing? That was a long
Good
time
times,
ago.
man. We can't forget the tree people. We have to keep them in our thoughts and prayers every day. They have a tough life, man.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Speaking of shotguns, you got a shotgun for us for the week?
Have we ever mentioned the Model 12 from Winchester?
Got me. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, pretty iconic.
Just joking.
Pretty iconic. Yeah.
All right. So the Winchester Model 12. All right. Let's take a few seconds, let the notifications get out there, and say hey to everybody in the chat. Like I said, we don't know that you're out there unless you say something in the live chat. So tonight could be a fun discussion, could be an interesting discussion. I've already had several texts and emails throughout the day.
Geez, there went the property value.
Yeah, there it went. It's all good. It's all good. What's up, Snob?
Not much.
Yeah, I'm good. How's Bristol? There he is.
Good.
Is he starting to get any feeling back?
I think so. He's starting to act like it, maybe.
Nice.
So I'm hoping it's good.
Nice. That's nice. Nice. Yeah, so tonight might be an interesting conversation, and that's okay. I like dissenting opinions on things. Let's just keep it civil and all that. And out there in the chat, say what you got to say. Be respectful, and yeah, we'll have a cool conversation. Out there, Snob was out there first, at least the first on my screen. So you win and attaboy. Good job. Chris with the 740s working double duty. Buck's out there. Tactical Snob. I mean, the Tactical Fud. I just saw Snob. Sorry. Tactical. Well, he might be a snob. Who knows? Screaming Skull Saloon. He said, I'm just here for the tacos and ammo. There you go. It is Taco Tuesday. So he said that as of today, I'm 20 rounds of Spear Gold dot 124 grain plus speed, 9mm richer. You got some defensive ammo. I like that. Let's see here. Aegis, Rod's out there. We wish it was Shelly, but we'll take Rod. So what's going on in here? Do you mind if us feds hang out for a while? Hey, take notes, man. I'm already on plenty of lists. So what's another one? It's all good. Marcus is out there. What's up, Marcus? AB's out there. He said, what up, y'all? All the way from the big Alaska. Mike's working double duty out there. Wes is out there. What's up, Wes? Clover says, I am not here. Well, not all here, but that's normal, right? Very seldomly are you all with it, but it's okay. Chris Lang's out there. What's going on, Chris? Diesel Cora. I don't remember seeing that one before. Welcome to it. If it's your first time, we're sorry. We know we're not going to actually, help you with anything. We just hope not to make you any dumber, but we can't promise that either. So welcome, Diesel. Let's see here. Gary's out there. What's up, Gary? Gary's got a link out there if he ever wants to jump in. Marcus, just an update from last week. I was able to finally play a little with night vision and thermal, and although I'm probably going to go do both, I really like the thermal better, and my wife is going to get it. Well, even better. When the wife gets it, you don't have to worry about hiding it or convincing her or any craziness like that. So congratulations. 1%'s out there. What's going on, Rich? Let's see here. MC's out there. What's going on, MC? And I miss Jason Ewing's out there. What's going on? And that's what we got out there. At least have said something. Like I said, we don't know if you're out there unless you say something. You guys know that every Thursday, Saturday, and Monday over our YouTube community tab, we have our Ghost Tactical polls. So let's go check out this week's polls. This was last Thursday. It's got 1.8 thousand votes. Of these, which is your favorite fast food burger? Notice I say of these. In-N-Out, McDonald's, Wendy's, or Whataburger. Mike, do you have a favorite of those?
Anybody who saw me in Tulsa knows it's Whataburger all the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. By the way, Chris this year was the one who got the bib. That started a couple years back with Mike. So it must be an Ohio thing, I guess. But yeah, Chris got the bib this time.
Who's this Mike you keep referring to? I don't know him as Mike.
I know. I want to say budget, but like I don't know if he gets mad if I call him budget. You know,
call me whatever you want. I'm used to it. I don't care.
Okay.
All right, it's gonna be budget. Yeah, it's always gonna be budget for me, and that's just how it goes. I mean,
what are your pronouns again? Budget.
That's right. What do you identify as? Bitch. Well, that's Clover. Clover's bitch.
Whatever. That's how it is. I'm so passive. It's whatever. That's how I identify. My pronouns are whatever the fuck you want. Don't care.
There you go. There you go. Chris, of those four, do you have a favorite burger?
Well,
and it's okay if you don't say Whataburger. I can't kick you out.
Well, no. Okay. So here's so I got to say Wendy's because we don't have Whataburger or In-N-Out here in Ohio, but that Whataburger was damn good. So
I know. That's why I picked it, because it's like, I eat Wendy's all the time. Whataburger, I hadn't had one in damn near 30 years. So yeah, it hit the spot.
Yep, absolutely. Chloe, do I even need to ask you?
Nope.
All right. I figured that much.
And actually,
Chase,
I had Whataburger. Talk about 30 years or whatever. I had Whataburger Friday night. So there you go.
There you go. Chase, of those four, do you have a favorite?
I mean, of those, it's Whataburger for sure. And I mean, pissed off all the West Coast people I want to. In-N-Out's not that great.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's not fantastic.
No, it's not.
That's how I feel about Whataburger. It's okay. It's not fantastic. I eat it once a week.
All right. So which one? What do you like?
In-N-Out, because I only get it every now and then when I go to Dallas or Vegas or somewhere.
Yeah. You'll have one next month, I guess, huh?
You darn right I will. I usually stop usually I stop in Kingman on the drive out because there's one in Kingman. Yeah. But I'm not driving this year, so
yeah, that might have to be what you get on the way home from the airport, huh?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yeah, and In-N-Out's good. In-N-Out's good. I think Wendy's is better than In-N-Out for me. Now, maybe it's because I always get Wendy's and I also get a chocolate frosty with it. Maybe that's what makes the experience better for me. I don't know.
There's just something wrong with a square hamburger. It's just not right.
Fair dude, so. Please take care of Calaveras. He no longer deserves to be here. He said, Whataburger is over glorified McDonald's. You shut your mouth, sir. You shut your mouth. Now, Stan says, what about Brahms? Now, I want to say this. If no one's been to Brahms, first, they have good ice cream. Not as good as Bluebell, but they have good ice cream. But Brahms actually has really good food. They do have a good burger. They have a really good, like, chicken sandwich. So Brahms is pretty good. I don't think it's anywhere near Whataburger, but that's just me. I do like the fact that I saw a podcast, an interview with Patrick Mahomes last week, and he was saying, Mike just said, I'm out of here. He didn't like the whole Brahms thing, apparently. He'll probably jump back in. But no, Patrick Mahomes was saying where Clover lives, but they didn't have a lot of money. It's a franchise. So that's pretty cool. So he bought a Whataburger franchise.
Robots are getting you pretty bad, bro.
They're getting me?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I thought it was me. That's why I turned off my camera, because I thought it was me.
Can you hear me?
No, it's him for sure.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, you're back.
I hear you.
Okay, well, I'll just turn my camera off. Is that better? Am I back?
Mm-hmm.
That's so much better.
Yes.
All right, that was weird. So I don't know if you guys heard, but Patrick Mahomes, they didn't have a Whataburger in Kansas City. So what does any rich guy do? He buys a franchise. That's pretty cool. So there's a Whataburger down in Kansas City. I think that Patrick Mahomes owns it. So that's kind of cool.
We need to get somebody in Ohio to do that.
No kidding, right?
What's the holdup?
Right, there you go.
I'm not rich. That's what the holdup is.
Bank's got money.
Yeah, you can always
wear a mask
go.
in there. They'll give it to you, I hear.
I promise you that you will make money on Whataburger enough to plenty carry that note. I promise you.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So the results are 32% say Wendy's, 28% say In-N-Out, 21% say Whataburger, and 18% say McDonald's. Interesting. So, okay, we'll just let that fester for a little bit. Our next one was put out yesterday, and it's got 1.6 thousand votes. Who's your favorite Star Wars character? Your choices are Leia, Vader, Luke, and Yoda. Budget, we'll start with you on this one. Of those four, do you have a favorite Star Wars character?
Vader. Absolutely.
That's the only right answer. So
yeah,
I agree. Well done, sir. Well played.
Anyone else? Anybody who says anything else deserves to be force choked. That's all I'm saying.
There are some characters that I really, 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 really do like, but I'm a big Vader guy. I'm probably one of the very few that are an Empire guy. I love Han Solo, just because. Like, that dude has no expectations from anyone. He has a Wookiee for a best friend, and he gets Princess Leia. So that's a pretty good life right there. But yeah, Vader's the guy. Snob,
that's your life story.
I wish that was my life story. That would be great. I mean, that's what it is.
You have a Wookiee for a friend.
I do have a Wookiee for a friend. I've got several Wookiees for friends, so I guess that's cool. I did get the girl. I definitely married up. And no one really expects anything from me, so I guess I kind of am like Han. That's kind of interesting if you think about it. Go figure, huh? Snob, what about you? I know that you're not a big Star Wars guy, I don't believe, but of those, do you have a favorite character of Star Wars?
It's the one that has the mute button. Well, I was trying to remember his name because he wasn't on your list, but Jar Jar Binks, I just remembered it.
Oh, Jar Jar.
I
mean,
Speaking of deserving to get force choked, I think Snob's firmly in that camp.
I mean, if I had to pick from your list, I'd pick Darth Vader, but I do like Star Wars. I have enjoyed it. I never watched it. I was literally 35 before I ever watched it. Any of them?
I'd rather you be late to the party than never show up at all. So now, Jar Jar was definitely there for comic relief, and he did his part very, very well. So that's for sure. Clover's is Jabba the Hutt. So do we need to even ask him?
No, it's got to be the chosen one, right? Come on.
It's gotta be.
It's all about the chosen one, which is Vader.
Yeah, that's right. Not Luke. People think it was Luke. That is not the chosen one. The prophecy was that Anakin would restore the balance in the Force. And that was Luke. No. That was Anakin. After he became Vader, and
he
kind of was Anakin for the last few minutes of his life, became Anakin again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah. Chase, I know that you don't watch Star Wars. You're more of into the adult film stuff. So in the adult film world, is there a Star Wars character that you've enjoyed?
It's definitely Jabba the Hutt.
How'd you know?
He's probably going to say Leia because of the bikini, which I would not disagree with, by the way.
No, I have been a lifelong Star Wars nerd since I was a kid, and I am 100% Team Empire, fucking rebel scum. So it's been Vader. It's been Vader all the way.
Bunch of terrorists. Bunch of terrorists, right? I mean, come on. Like,
that's right.
The rebellion was a bunch of terrorists. Look, you
think
killed
about
a bunch of innocent workers on the Death Star.
Yeah, think about how many. I mean, literally literally old Latino women pushing a cart with towels and soaps and toiletries in the Death Star they killed and stuff. It's like, really? All the elderly janitors on the Death Star, it's like, what did they do to you? Come on,
Yeah,
really?
they do shit. Got a bunch of poor, like, little Jar Jar's friends, like, putting that shit together, and they just blow them all up.
Just want to let you guys know, Aegis and Rod out there says, come on, it's obviously Luke. So just a friendly reminder, we are looking for a new sponsor for the Ghost Tactical Hotline. So if anyone's interested, let me know.
Luke was so whiny from his
He's a whiny little bitch, man.
His very first line in the very first
movie. He had a crush on his sister. Come on.
Quit whining. You're killing
I mean,
me.
if my sister was Princess Leia, I might too.
He whined more than Anakin did, and that's saying something.
Yes.
Yeah, that is saying something. Ozzy says Yoda's the best. I could go with that. I could go. I think Yoda is probably my second favorite character in the Star Wars realm. So I'd be okay with that. Wes says, I promised my son we would watch all the Star Wars movies in December. So we're 2 movies in. It's fun watching them with the kids for the first time. Now, So Wes, the question is what sequence are you watching them? Are you watching them by like the actual release date, like the original trilogy, then the bad trilogy, and then the worst trilogy? Or are you watching them from like on the timeline goes the beginning? Be interesting to hear about that. Obi-Wan, yeah, I mean Obi-Wan is a great character too. I like Obi-Wan. What's that now?
I was gonna say watch it the correct way, The Empire Strikes Back over and over.
So there's a lot of people that are talking. I saw this thing. They're talking about like what's the best sequel of all time, and I don't know if Empire Strikes Back is considered a sequel. If it is, then it is hands down the best sequel of all time. I don't know.
Yep.
So
okay, that's fair. Screaming Skull says, "What about R2D2?" That's fair. The combination of R2 and C3PO is one of the greatest comic combinations ever, if you really think about it.
So if anybody watched in the machete order? You watch.
I'm sorry, what?
You watch them in the machete. It's called the machete order. So
I don't know what the machete was.
Okay,
educate me.
You watch A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back. Then you watch Attack of Clones, Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how most of us had to watch it.
You watch Return of the Jedi after. No, not really. You watch Return of the Jedi after the prequels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ew, why would you do that?
Yeah. Because you watch.
Okay.
Go ahead. But you watch the prequels. No. You watch the prequels. It's why if you haven't watched the machete stuff, you wouldn't understand. But you watch it and it gives it's a flashback sequence. The prequels are a flashback sequence. Yeah.
I got you. And then Vader dies. You watch Vader. Okay, I got you.
Yep.
Hawaii Volcano Squad. Damn, I hadn't seen HVS forever. What's up, homie? He said Darth Maul. Hey, Darth Maul, in my opinion, aside from Vader, Darth Maul is the greatest Sith, man. That dude was a badass.
Well, and being able to wield the Darksaber, right? That's no like.
This is true. This is true.
Easy task, and he was.
Yeah.
So.
No, he's badass. Chris, favorite Star Wars character?
Well, if we're going off the list, it's got to be Vader.
Okay, if it's not on the list, who would it be?
For me, Boba Fett was my favorite character as a kid.
I could go with that. I'm down with that.
With the least amount of time on the, very little time in the movies, but like made this huge impact on the whole thing. So I love Solo. Solo's character was cool.
Yeah.
I'd have to say those are my 2 favorites out of the original 3 movies. I would call the original 3.
Could you imagine So the Vader scene at the end of Rogue One. Can you imagine if that would have started everything in the theaters? Can you imagine if that would have started everything in
honestly
77?
the best 15 seconds of any movie in the Star Wars realm. The greatest 15 seconds is when he just goes off on the transport pod. Oh my god, it's amazing.
Gives everybody everything they've been wanting for 30 plus years.
Yeah, because I mean, everyone that kind of keeps up with the realm knows that Vader. I mean, like that first, 10 years that Anakin became Vader, like he was evil, like he was trying to destroy, and he was that guy, and we never got to see Vader go off except for that 15 seconds. I will say this. If you guys haven't seen, nice, Snob, well played, sir. If you haven't seen on Disney the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, the last episode of that is epic. It has the battle between Obi-Wan and Vader fight. It's a pretty epic fight scene, so go check that out. Is awesome. R2, man, R2, I'm telling you, R2 did a lot of stuff. I am surprised that no one has mentioned Finn. I really am. I figured Finn would be the top of most people's list as the most hated character in Star Wars history. I could not stand Finn. He was almost as much of a whiny bitch as Luke. Just saying.
The whole last trilogy, it's fucking terrible.
It's hard to sit there and say that something was worse than the first trilogy, but I think they accomplished that in the second one, especially the second movie of the trilogy. The second movie was the worst Star Wars movie that has ever happened. And the fact that they had all of a sudden Leia's like got the Force and was dead in outer space and comes back. The Force brings her back and she flies back to this. I'm like, come on. Like, you had the opportunity to kill Legs right after she died in real life. They had the opportunity to do it and they didn't. It really pissed me off.
I do not disagree. I do not disagree. That movie was horrible, but there was one scene in that movie that almost makes it worth putting up with the entire movie. And it's a scene where chick that can't stand the chick, but she jumps to light speed and cuts the other ship in half. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
When she takes the cruiser by herself and does it, that was pretty cool. I'll give it that.
That was pretty wicked, man.
That was pretty awesome.
That whole 3 movies of just dismal terribleness was
Ray was absolutely wretched.
Yeah, the first one of the last trilogy, the Force Awakens, is that what it was called? Whatever it was when they introduced Rey and all of that.
Yeah,
I left that wasn't a terrible movie.
All of them
wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. And I left that theater.
It wasn't terrible till Finn opened his mouth.
Well, that's a whole. Once again, that's a whole different thing. But I remember leaving the theater with like hope of this being, because remember, we're coming off of 20 years basically of the prequel trilogy, which were god awful. And so I was like, okay, do I really want them to come back? I watched that. I was like, okay, I left the theater with hope that this trilogy could be pretty decent. And then after the second one, I literally was walking out of the theater and I was pissed. Like, I looked at my wife and I was like, that's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I was so unhappy. Don't insult the Ewoks like that. I hear you. Rich says he refuses to admit. Yeah. He refused to admit that the 3 trilogy exists. So Jar Jar is the worst Star Trek character. So if you take the last 3 out, and Jar Jar, could be the worst character ever.
Dude, the last 3 make the first 3 look like the second 3.
That's sad, isn't it? Like, that's sad. Is like the prequel trilogy actually looks good now. And that's how they ended it. Can you believe that's how they ended it? It's just it's maddening.
What makes you even more upset with the sequel, the last 3, the last trilogy, is that within that, you had Rogue One, so they could do a good movie.
Amazing. I love Rogue One.
It's like,
and I didn't mind Solo either.
Great.
Rogue One was great. Yeah.
Rogue One shows you the grittiness that it needs to be, like those movies need.
Yeah. The droid in Rogue One was awesome. Yeah, great. I loved Rogue One. I could watch Rogue One again and be happy watching it, no problem.
I think I've watched Rogue One almost as many times now as I watched the original 3.
Oh, no way for me. There's just no possible way. But I have watched Rogue One a lot, and I enjoy it every time. Yeah, it's a great movie. Great movie. Really is.
You guys been watching Andor?
I have not yet. No, I'm gonna binge it when it's all done.
It's worth it.
Does it get better?
Yeah.
Because
I'm
one episode in, and I'm like, I hope this gets better.
It does get better.
It gets way better.
Okay, cool.
It all comes together. It's good. It's
a slow burn kind of show, but you got to develop all the backstory of like the espionage and all that. But it gets better.
Yeah, it's setting up how Cassian Andor became what you see at the beginning of Rogue One.
Mm.
Y'all are forgetting.
Yep, I'm looking forward to that.
Nobody brought it up. I can't even remember the name of it.
The Ewoks have a movie? You talking about Return of the Jedi?
No, they had their own little movie. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, vomit.
They had their own little special. Yes,
it was terrible.
The Ewok Christmas? Are you talking about the Christmas thing?
No.
No, there was like a little.
Yeah, Battle of Endor. Yeah,
Battle of Endor, Caravan of Courage. Yeah, and they also had cartoons, Ewoks cartoons.
I haven't watched much of the cartoon stuff. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
See,
Battle of Endor was better than Caravan of Courage, I think, but
I don't think I've seen any but the Battle of Endor, and it wasn't very good.
Neither one was good. Yeah.
I prefer to believe the fan theory that the second Death Star's destruction caused the atmosphere of Endor to catch fire and incinerate everything on the planet, including the Ewoks. That's what I prefer to believe.
Wow.
I'm cool with that theory. There's no way a bunch of fucking retard teddy bears beat the 501st. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Hey, you never know. With rocks and slingshots, by the way.
The guys that literally assaulted Hoth and killed everything got killed by retard teddy bears. This is not how this works.
Exactly.
You do realize until Baby Yoda was introduced, the Ewoks were still like the greatest selling Star Wars like dolls or whatever you want to call it. Ewoks were still until Baby Yoda.
Make it right.
Plus 100 for marketing skills, no doubt.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah. 46%.
My 5-year-old little girl loves Darth Vader. Just saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, she's asked me. She's like,
go ahead.
I was going to say she's asked me. She's like, does Darth Vader kill the little Ewok things? Like she's point blank asked that, and I'm so sad I can't show her.
I understand. 46% of you had the right answer with Darth Vader. 25% of you I would take with the second best answer at Yoda. 17% were relatively accurate with the third place with Leia, and 12% of you were 100% right with the fourth best of this 4 is Luke Skywalker. So yeah,
there was probably a lot of write-in for Boba Fett. I gotta figure, right?
Oh, let's go in. There was a bunch of
because he's up there for me without a doubt. I mean, I was big.
Oh yeah, Boba's up there.
Canon and non-canon. He did not get a lot of screen time, obviously. But
now a lot of them were saying the original Boba, not the Disney Fett. Boba Fett, yes. The bounty hunter when he was still a bounty hunter. Yeah. Mark Hamill's shenanigans is the reason no one is voting for him. I think there's a lot of reasons why no one's voting for Luke. Count Dooku got a couple votes. That's pretty cool. Kenobi, Anakin, R2D2. Yeah, but yeah, Boba got one person even said Lando. You stop yourself.
Well, Billy D, come on. Come on.
I like Lando. Shut up. I don't care.
Billy D. Yeah, Billy D. The Billy D version for sure. But yeah.
Oh, absolutely, because it's Billy D. Williams. That's why.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last one we're going to talk about has 1.5 thousand votes. What item or items would you start your survival pack? This kind of goes off of the discussion we had last week. Your choices are food and water, a first aid kit, medications, rope, or a knife. Chris, let's go. Let's start with Snob on this one. Can I go in weird order? What would you start a survival pack with of those items?
Of those items, I guess a knife.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, it's kind of utilitarian. It's a tool.
Yeah, you gotta have.
And if you use your knife correctly, you can come up with the other items.
This is true. This is very, very true. Yes, for Clover, it is Bubba Fett, not Boba Fett. It is Bubba Fett. I think that was over on Gary's thing, wasn't it? You brought that up on Gary's last week. That was pretty funny. I almost peed myself when you said that. Chase, what about you? Starting a survival pack, what would you start it with?
I'm in agreement. I'm in the same line of thinking there. It'd be a knife, because with a knife I can get the other shit I want or start collecting it. But it's a knife and it's utilitarian. Do a lot with it.
Absolutely. Chris, what about you?
Yeah, I gotta go with the knife. I hate to I'd switch it up, but it's true. You can use it to get whatever else you need. So
absolutely. Budget, what about you?
Get another vote for a knife, and for the same reasons, because with a knife I can acquire or get everything I need except medications. So yeah.
I understand that. Clove, you gonna throw a curveball at us or what?
You might as well have put Darth Vader in the list. It's a knife.
All right. Yeah, it's funny. We had the discussion last week. Now Daniel says food and water, and he says the next shelter. And I'm not going to tell anybody that they're wrong. But you're wrong. No, food and water, and that's the one that I think everyone goes to. And here's the thing: if you try a little bit, even if you don't have a knife, okay, even if you don't have a knife, if you are familiar with the land that you're on, you should be able to find some sort of a water source, a stream, a creek, a pond, a lake, whatever, ocean. It might be weird, but you can filter that shit if you need to. But you should be able to find a water source pretty quickly. Food, you should be able to find something to eat. It may not be what you want to eat, but you can eat. I've been in train where we had to eat bugs, and I don't like little bugs and critters, but you do what you got to do. But here's also the big reason. We talked on this a little bit of that last week, and here's one of the things that people don't realize: your body can go a lot longer than you think without eating. It can go easily without even showing signs for a week. Now, you probably need to have water in you within a few days, 3-4 days. But food, you can go without food easily for a week. Not saying you should. I'm just saying that when you're talking about a survival pack or a bug out bag or whatever, understand that food and water usually take up a lot of real estate in those bags. So you can utilize that room in your bag for other things like rope, like a knife, like whatever. We talked a little bit about last week also is medications, especially, you need probably some antibacterial ointments. Maybe you need some kind of like a Tylenol or Advil or ibuprofen or a Aleve or something. But especially if you have, it sounds crazy, but if you have prescription medications that you're having to take, you should always have some of those extras lying around just in case. Okay. We got a phone call. Who this is?
Pat the Bunker.
Armed Citizen Podcast. Who's this? Yeah, I figured we hadn't heard from Pat in a while. What's going on?
We can't hear him if he's talking.
You can't hear him?
I can't.
I cannot either.
Really?
Nope. No talking.
Let's see.
Yep, can't hear him either.
That's very interesting. I can hear you fine, Pat, but that doesn't.
I mean, that's the smartest things Pat ever said. Is what he said right then when no one could hear him. But
all right, Pat.
I did that. I muted him because the echo was sick.
Yeah. Wow, that was bad.
Ooh, you're muted, Ghost. In case you know, when you did whatever you did, the echo went crazy.
That was like a reverb and a phaser and a chorus all together. That was rough.
Right. Hang on, let me see if he can even hear us. He may have killed his audio to hear us.
Oh. Can you hear me?
You
I muted mine for some reason.
I did.
Yeah, I didn't hear the reverb, so I don't know. That was weird.
Oh, it was bad.
Well, I'm not going to take any calls at this point. Maybe it's something through Google Voice. I'm not real sure. We'll not take any calls right now. Yeah, medications. We're going about medications is something that is going to be important. As far as the vote goes, 59% say food and water. I'm never going to say you should go without food and water. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think there are logical answers other than food and water to start your survival pack with. But 59% food and water. First aid kit, 11%. Knife was at 28%. First aid kit at 11%, medications at 2%, and rope with 1%. I'm okay with the rope. I think rope could be utilized for a lot of things. Now, when you say someone out there said shelter, I think it might have been, who was that? Daniel maybe said shelter. So there are certain things that you definitely have to have in your pack. A weapon / tool, which would be a knife. You need to have a heat source. You need to have some sort of shelter to survive. I'm telling you, what in the hell are y'all doing? Fuddalorian? Oh my God. Just stop. I bet you could probably come up with a really badass tattoo for Fuddalorian, though. Be pretty cool. Like if you made it orange or something, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I think people can get you can get a tarp for a couple bucks, especially if it's on clearance at Walmart. A tarp can do so many things. One, it could be shelter. Two, you could utilize it to get wood and put wood in a tarp and drag it instead of having to carry one at a time. A lot of things you can utilize with a tarp. But yeah, there's a lot of things, and we're not going to go into the whole survival because that's a whole other discussion. We can do that again. What's up, Chicago? Mike, what's up, bro? Survival, there are certain things you're going to have. And I don't know. I think that I don't pick food and water as choice, but that doesn't mean that it's not a valid choice. Rebel scums out there now. Me so gun snob. Well done, sir. Well done. Yeah, so budget out there: cutting tool, combustion device, cover, cordage, and metal container. 100%. So yeah, anything else that you guys in budget, anybody just step in, but as far as maybe not the first choice, but what are some for people out there trying to put a survival pack together? What's like the 3, 4, or 5 things? And I like where you're going with that budget, but there are certain things that you are very necessary to survive. A heat source is obviously one, whether that's some way to start a fire, something, but a heat source is definitely one. Go ahead.
I can't take credit for that. I can't take credit for that. Stole that from Dave Canterbury. That's the first 5 C's. It's the cutting tool, combustion device, cover, cordage, and metal container. Got to have a cutting tool so you can cut stuff and make stuff. A combustion device so you can start a fire. A cover, your cover element like a tarp or an emergency blanket or something. Or it could just be whatever clothes you're wearing that are appropriate for the environment. Metal container so you can collect, store, and purify water, because you can use your fire to boil in a metal container. Those 5 things go with me anytime I go in the woods, period, regardless.
Now, cordage, are you talking about like ropes or paracord, stuff like that?
Yes. Anything.
There's a lot of people who don't know
number
about
36
it.
bank line.
Yeah, sure. There is a thing that, I mean, I've got a ton of it, and I'm sure most people have. There are people out there that have never heard of it. It's called survival cord. It's kind of a paracord-ish like thing, but if you cut the cord inside, you have like fishing line as part of the inside guts of the paracord. So if you guys have an opportunity to find some survival cords, I think that's what they call it, really. It's a kind of a cool stuff to have. It's paracord, but it's got a little extra stuff inside that paracord doesn't. So it's not just the nylon and all of that stuff. So it's pretty cool. So tonight's discussion is, like I said, I've already gotten several texts and emails from people throughout the day wanting to know if I'm willing to start World War III. Chicago Mike says, most of your hoodies are out of stock for 3X. Man, I have nothing to do with the stock, unfortunately. It might just be that time of year. There's a lot of people ordering stuff, not just me, but through Spreadshirt, they might just be running low on 3X hoodies. Maybe keep checking. I appreciate. I'll keep checking as well. If I see something, I'll let you know. But yeah, it's probably just that time of year, bro. Honestly. But yeah. Carrying, and everyone knows that I'm a big concealed carry guy. It's one of the main issues and topics and themes of my channel. And I'm a big supporter of concealed carry, and I want everyone to at least think about carrying. But the question comes out, should everybody carry? And we're going to have some dissenting opinions, and that's okay. It's this conversation. I have the belief, and this is where people get pissed off at me. I do not believe that everyone should carry, at least not right away. But there are people that I know that I don't want carrying. So there are people I do not believe that everyone should carry. We're going to kind of go through the room real quick to start this off, and kind of get everyone's initial thoughts on this before the discussion starts. And just simply, Chris, I'm going to start with you. Just simply, in your opinion, in general statements, do you think that everyone should carry?
No.
Okay. And it's one of those things where I don't want people, I don't care if you disagree, because that's where the great conversation starts. Chase, go with you. Should everybody carry?
While every American citizen has the right, abso-freaking-lutely not.
Yeah. Yeah. Budget, what about you?
That would be no. Everybody has that right, absolutely. But just because you can do a thing doesn't necessarily mean you should. And there are some people out there who just plain shouldn't.
I know some of those people. I think we all know someone in our lives that probably shouldn't carry, and we'll go into that.
Y'all are assholes. I don't know why you're saying that.
Hey, I get told that every day to be snob. It's okay. Go for it. So you think everyone should carry?
No, I just meant because I thought you were referring to me that I shouldn't know.
No, well, I mean, I wasn't going to say it live, but it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Much like Chase and Budget said, everyone should have the right to carry,
100%.
but I do not want it forced upon everyone to carry, because there are definitely people who shouldn't, or who just don't want to, aren't comfortable with it, period.
Yeah.
But that should be
and I'm not even talking about being forced to carry. I'm just saying everyone that wants to carry, should all of those people carry, even if they want to be part of it. There's still some people out there that I don't want carrying, even though you want to, and all that. So that's the way I am. For DeLorean, what about you?
Yeah, people should carry. Yeah, everybody should carry. How are you going to get used to carrying if you don't carry? So everybody should carry.
Yeah.
I'm okay with forcing it on people. It should be like a right to get your voter's registration card or something. We got the Second Amendment that says shall not be infringed. So there you go. Give them their voter registration card, give them a handgun in a holster, and say, carry that sucker, fool. What are you talking about?
No, I understand where you're coming from.
People would keep their mouths shut a lot more.
I think they would be a lot more polite society, right?
There is an argument for that. Yeah, there is an argument for that side of it. Go ahead.
I mean, go back 20, 30 years and look, you didn't run your mouth in high school, back then like you can now because you knew the kid was going to punch you right in the face.
Yeah.
And you walk into the polling place, we redo all those laws too. You walk into the polling place and they don't even ask for an ID. They go, hey, we need to see your carry piece. And they make sure that there's one in the chamber, right? All that good stuff. And then they let you go in the booth and vote. They're like, okay, you're a red-blooded American. You can go vote.
They don't require ID to vote in Texas?
Do what?
They don't require ID to vote in Texas?
Yeah, that don't mean
okay.
I think they should. I think they should. They should. As long as you're carrying and you have one in the chamber, you should be allowed to go into the deal and vote. You shouldn't even need an ID at that point. You're obviously an American, right?
Yeah, that's hard to argue that logic.
Using opinions of Clover Tech, they're using opinions of Clover Tech only. Do not.
I did start this podcast out by saying every podcast starts out with the views and opinions of individual guests are, so yeah, no, there is Hawaii says in Texas, your gun is your ID. That's fair. There is a lot to be said about the freedoms and, all of that. For me, and once again, we're going to go ahead and this is an open discussion. So don't wait for me to call on you in the panel. Let's just talk. The one thing that I've said, and it has been, we'll say, pretty controversial over the years, is I have said that if you're going to carry and you're not mentally ready to take that shot, if that situation arises, then I'd rather you not carry until you are ready to make that decision, because I think that you can cause a lot more harm and damage to that situation and to innocent people if you do carry and you're not mentally ready. And here's the problem is I'm going to kind of argue with myself, and you guys jump in. Most people are never going to know if they're ready or not until the time comes. Most of us think that we are, but there are people out there that know right away, like, I hope I'm going to carry this gun, but I hope to God I never have to use it. Now, we say that because we don't want to have to hurt someone, but if it comes down to it, I will hurt someone. I will kill someone if I have to defend my family and my property, whatever. But there are people that know from the very beginning that they're not ready to take that shot. And I think that is dangerous. And you may not agree with me out there, but that's my take on it, is if you're not mentally ready to take that shot, you shouldn't. Do you guys have anything to say about the mental preparedness of carrying?
Well, I think you're right with that. If you don't know if you can, or you say you're one of these people, I've heard several people down through time say, "Oh, I'll just shoot him in the leg or something," something stupid, just completely stupid.
Right.
You're not in a position to be carrying a gun at this time. I mean, like you said, nobody can say for sure unless they've been there.
Correct.
It's impossible for you to say for sure that what you'll do when that happens. You're lying to yourself if you're saying it.
There are a lot of military guys that probably truly believe that they could take that shot because they have taken that shot. It's different in a war. It's different when everything about that person is your enemy. That's your job. That is your mission. That is what you are trained to do. Than some random guy at a gas station. Now, some of them very well could compartmentalize very easily and say it's just another enemy. But there are people that I know that served that have recorded kills that have told me, yeah, it's different, man. And it's true. It is a different situation for some. But yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to, I know, Chris, you were talking before the show, and there are times when you say that people, whether you're trying to do it as a devil's advocate or not, but you've made this statement before that everyone should get training. You want to go into that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, I will say, like, I don't believe anybody should be forced to do anything, but if you're
mandated, yeah, by law, absolutely. Right. I hear what you're saying.
But if you're going to carry a firearm, and there's a chance that one day you're going to have to pull that gun, I can tell you right now, there are a lot of people out there that are carrying a gun every day. They're not going to know what to do with that gun when they pull it. You can stand in a static position at a gun range all day and shoot, but when you get yourself under stress, it's different. And the thing is like, I don't even have any room to talk. Like, I mean, what I might do is a little different than most people. I put myself under stress by shooting in competitions, going up against a timer, having an RO following me through the course and all that. But I couldn't tell you what it's like to be getting shot at when I'm pulling my gun. I mean, I know, I get it. There's no training for that.
Come out. We can make that happen.
Until it happens to you. But, there's a big responsibility to carrying a gun, and not only for yourself to keep yourself alive, but chances are you're going to probably be in an area when you pull a gun, there might be somebody behind that person. You could be in a mall. We've seen how many mall shootings, where someone has pulled a gun, and, you definitely want to hit what you're aiming at. So I really think that anyone that's going to carry a gun needs to do some sort of training.
Yeah, and it surely doesn't need to be mandated, obviously, but yeah, I think you should want to get some training with the firearm. A basic concealed carry 101 thing, basic gun handling. So at least you know how to manipulate that firearm. Did you know the proper mechanics that at least give you a chance to do it the right way? I think there's a lot to be said about what you talked about with the stress. I don't know if you guys do. I do this all the time, but if I'm going to go out to the range and shoot, I'll shoot some just static and all that. But a lot of times I'll go and do like 25, 30 jumping jacks, run in place for about a minute, accelerate my heart rate, because that's one of the things that people don't understand about stress. Your accelerated heart rate, your breathing gets shortened, all that thing that the stress comes affects how you handle the gun. You might start shaking. Some people shake when they get nervous. That's going to cause a problem. Let's be honest. And you were talking about that before, earlier, about shooting someone behind. That's one of my biggest things is if you're at, let's say, at a gas station, and someone comes in there and has a gun. Let me just throw this out to the panel and everybody can answer this. Here's a scenario. You're in a gas station getting some milk, some bread, the basic essentials at the convenience store on the way home, and you're back at the milk cooler. Up front, you hear something going on and you realize someone's walked in with a shotgun or a handgun, pointing it at the cashier, saying, "Give me your money, blah, 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 blah." What do you guys do? I'm going to go around the room.
Not my circus.
What's that?
Not my monkey, not my circus. At that point, I'm hiding.
Yep.
100%. Yep.
I would probably unholster.
Oh yeah.
And posture in such a way behind a shelf or whatever to where it doesn't look like I've got a firearm, just to kind of watch and see if they decide they're going to swing around or do something crazy in my direction. But as long as it's not happening crazy in my direction, I will get the color of shirt the guy's wearing and possible height and hair color and things of that nature, and I'll be there when they come to file a report.
Now, to be fair, if he starts shooting everybody in the store,
if he pulls the trigger,
if
he ever pulls the trigger, yeah, whether it's pointed at me or not, right? If he ever pulls the trigger, it's done. It's engagement.
Absolutely. That's a different scenario.
Because if he shot 3 people and you're number 4, guess what he's going to do to you also?
Yep. Here's a question for you. Who was that left? Chase? Okay.
Chase.
He might jump back in. Here's a question. Once again, open discussion. You guys can let's just talk about this. It's a real thing. Self-preservation. How many people are looking for an exit to get the hell out of there? I would be above if I can find a way to get out.
I'm out.
Especially if my family's with me, I'm at least getting my family out. If I'm at Walmart and someone starts shooting at Walmart, I'm getting my family out. And then I can decide if I want to go back in or not. Which that's the whole the scenario is going to dictate whether or not I go back, whether or not a trigger has been pulled. You get your family out, like Clover says, kind of get a description. You call 911 when you're outside, tell them what's going on. And then you can make that decision. But I mean, here's the thing.
There's too much.
It's not my fight at that point. It's not my fight at that point.
I've always there's way too much civil litigation liability for exiting a bad situation and then running back into it. So ain't happening.
Yep.
I've always kind of had a rule in my head, just kind of taught to myself, one, I'm not the police. I used to be the police. I'm not the police, so it's not my problem. Unless it comes to like innocent children, something like that.
Sure.
That might be something different. I feel like I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't at least try in a situation, for some reason I'm in a situation where I could do something. But other than that, no. If my family's safe and I don't know you, sorry.
Yeah.
It's cruel, but it's true.
No, it is. And that's part of the discussion. People say, well, that's a cowardly thing to do. No, it's not. And you can think that. But here's the thing. Sometimes it's okay to live to fight another day.
Sometimes you don't know what's going on either.
That's correct. Now, Screaming Skulls. This is true. Screaming Skulls knows. Ask yourself this: do you have loved ones that depend on you? So here's the thing, and I might be misreading where he's going with this. If I am, it's okay. Yeah, no, you can say whatever you want to out there, Screaming Skull. It's all good. You're not upsetting them. But if I'm misreading this question or misinterpreting this question, let me know out there in the chat. I'm assuming he's saying do you have loved ones that depend on you? And if so, maybe you take that shot or whatever the case may be. Once again, every scenario is different. Every person has their own why. And that's a real thing. Your why is going to be different than my why.
That can go the whole other direction. I've seen that what Triple S said is a totally different thing. What I seen was like you got loved ones at home that depend on you, and you're at the back of Walmart, and there's gunshots at the front of Walmart. You run out the automotive door. You don't run up there and engage, because I got people at home depending on me and depending on me to live. I'm not putting myself in that situation. I'm not interjecting myself into it. Again, it's self-preservation, and that comes first, period.
I might try to get as many people out as I could before I leave, but
maybe warning this way, everybody, get this way, and then maybe hold a little bit of cover for a little bit of time, right? While a few people in that general vicinity, if you exit or something,
it would really depend on the circumstances that obtain at the time. Right, it really would.
Right.
Yep.
I don't think I could give a blanket answer on this.
No.
You're trying
I think there is a
trying to
blanket
get.
answer.
So here's the
Yeah,
problem.
there's none.
Here's the problem. Right? With the scenario where everybody has the right and everybody is carrying because they have the right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gunshots at the front of let's just say big box store. Gunshots at the front of big box store, which has a rear exit, and you're close to that rear exit. And your mentality is, I'm gonna draw, or I'm gonna stand here, I'm gonna do something, and I'm gonna try to get more people out. And one of those people trying to get out misinterprets you for a threat for whatever reason, because they're freaked out and they're trying to get the heck out of Dodge too.
Yeah,
and you got a miscommunication, and somebody doesn't understand or know that you're there to help. They don't know who you are, right? And so I fall back to, I'm going to get my own butt out the door at the end of the day.
Yep. Interesting.
Well, another point is,
go ahead.
Another point is, there's gunshots at the front of the store. You run up to the front of the store, you see somebody blazing away, you cap them, but they happen to be the guy shooting at the bad guy. They happen to be another armed citizen, good guy shooting at the bad guy, and you just did a horrible thing.
Well, this is where the whole idea that
unless you're there right now and it's happening right in front of you and you're absolutely involved, whether you want to or not, GTFO.
Or at least separate yourself from that initial to find out exactly what's going on and who the players are in this.
Find some cover, right? Find some cover, move. Give yourself, while you're assessing, right? Give yourself a couple of seconds, right? Whatever, a little bit of time to make a little better informed decision on, what's going on here. Like, and not just what's going on here and who should I shoot, but what's going on here and if you even should shoot, right?
Yeah. Yep. Now, once again, we're talking even in the Walmart scenario or whatever store scenario, it's not a gas station or whatever. We still come back to what we talked about earlier. Once a trigger's pulled, that changes everything.
Yeah.
Changes everything. No matter where you are, if a trigger has been pulled, then we up the ante a little bit and we step in that game. At least I do, and I think most people would. Now, here's an interesting one. This is going to be interesting. Daniel throws a question out there. Okay, what if it's a school? So,
getting out.
I'm trying to get kids out.
I'm going to be trying to get kids out too. I
want to say this. Yeah, my initial reaction is to get out and take as many kids with me as I can. Get to my truck. And I get my AR or whatever I've got, my AR pistol in the truck. I go back in probably trying to get more kids out with the mentality of getting kids out. And if I happen to come across the shooter while I'm getting more kids out, then I might have to take that shot.
It's
a literal
and then the responding police put holes in you.
That's exactly what I was fixing to say.
Well,
so here's the scenario.
Friday
night.
Police aren't there at that point.
Well, you're assuming, but Friday night, I was in the scenario. We were in the school auditorium, right? So had something went down. So I was at the school. Had something went down. Could I have gotten to the car? Could I have gotten something and got back? Yeah, but in that time frame, and this is not going to be all things equal for every place. Response time for some schools is going to be absolutely horrible. Some are going to have school resource officers there. The school I was at, they don't know me. That was the high school, and none of them know me anymore. I graduated a long time ago, and my kids graduated a long time ago. And so it's not like they are going to notice who I am. And so when they see me running back in with a whatever the case may be, so I mean, I would get kids out a door. I would potentially try to hold the door shut, right? Or something of that nature, or find a way to brace it shut or something like that. To get kids in some room and secure it or something like that. But, anything with a firearm in the school with potential response from, at least locally here, how quick the response is going to be with law enforcement, I'm not taking that chance.
See, I don't know. I would like to think that that's a great plan, and I don't say anything. For me, this is for me. First of all, Hawaii doesn't believe you graduated. But
I didn't. I didn't actually. I didn't. I skipped my senior year. I took my GED after my junior year. So yeah.
You had life. You had life kick you right smack in the nuts, didn't you?
I did, but I was too busy making money and stuff anyway, and I'm like, screw
That's
it.
what I'm saying. You had life.
I can go get my GED and not have to go my senior year, and it's basically the same thing. I'm out.
Yeah.
I did the same thing, except I was just too busy being an asshole.
That was the forced GED, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
It works too. Yeah.
Hey, it's all good. There's a part of this whole school scenario that is interesting because for me, I tell you what bothers me is if I'm outside and let's say I was able to get 15, 20 kids outside, I feel good about that. Get them to safety, call 911 at that point. I'm assuming someone already has, but you're calling 911 again. If nothing else, when the police show up, you can be a point person, the liaison, say, hey, this is what the kid's wearing in there, blah, 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 whatever. But for me, it would be very difficult. And I say this, it would be very difficult for me to be outside and hearing gunshots go off and hearing kids screaming. It would be very difficult for me not to go back in. And I'd be probably willing to take that chance to go back in.
Assuming law enforcement.
I don't know. I don't know until that happens. I hope to God that never happens, obviously.
Assuming law enforcement wasn't there yet. I mean, at that point, I get you. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Yeah. But here's the thing. I feel like we get, I don't know what's the word, if it's swindled or trapped or whatever, into these grandiose blaze of glory scenarios of the supermarket with bunches of people or the school. And it's like reality it's going to be like a one-on-one thing within like 7 feet, and it's going to happen in just a matter of a few seconds. It's not going to be these grandiose scenarios that we're sitting here wargaming.
Yeah.
And if it's not a grandiose scenario, it's somebody walks out of a dark place. They are a threat. You put them down. It's over. Like, it's really that simple.
So, man, this could go dark, and that's okay. I want to ask this question. With what we have known from people that have done these horrific things in schools or in whatever, most don't make it out. And I think for a lot of people, that's their plan. It's almost suicide by cop or suicide by someone. So the question is if you had an opportunity to secure that individual without killing them, would you do that? Because there's a part of me that wants to let that person rot in jail for the rest of his life or her life instead of getting the easy way out. Maybe that's just my sick, weird, twisted mind. But if you had a chance to secure that person and detain him without getting hurt yourself, would you do that?
For legal reasons, my lawyer has advised me to not answer this question. Thank you.
Very good. I understand that. Yeah. Hypothetically, let's say,
I don't know. I might.
Well, hypothetically, I have been through active shooter training.
So have I. Yep.
And you go in and you neutralize the threat. There's no trying to restrain them, no matter basically what.
Right.
It's you neutralize the threat.
Well done. Well done.
Again, it all depends on the situation.
If you walk in, they're unarmed, they're on their knees with their hands behind their head for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like that's an execution at that point. Let's be fair. That's an execution at that point. But if you turn the corner, and after they have literally been killing people, and you turn the corner and there's a firearm in their hand, it's go time. It's go time.
100%,
yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about. Depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I would like to think that I could secure that person and put him in jail for the rest of his life, and whatever happens to that guy, which will not be good in prison, happens
Here's
to
the
him.
thing, though. It's just like I said.
He'd be in protective custody the entire rest of his life.
We are sitting here talking about the rarest of rarest, like atrocities and self-defense scenarios. The rarest of the rare is what we're discussing for whatever reason here, right? Which does not help. Again, my opinion. This is all I know, and this is all my opinion, and this is it's the discussion, right? So, we're discussing the rarest of the rare.
Right.
So here's the thing: in that scenario, that you want him to rot in jail the rest of his life. I get that.
No, I'm not arguing.
I'm not arguing. I get it.
Hold on, dude. There's a part of me.
I understand that
says that.
I get you. I get where you're coming from, right? I get it.
You don't have to raise your voice.
But think about it this way: with the maybe I bumped my microphone. I didn't know it was.
You were yelling for sure.
With the way
I thought your wife was going to come in and yell at you like it happened to somebody else this week.
That was great, by the way. That was awesome.
With the way that the media already plays up stuff.
Yeah.
If that murderer, let's get it right,
absolutely,
is taken alive, that just perpetuates the media being able to play out that narrative. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying run in and execute somebody that's hands are up and they're whatever, right? Unarmed. It's not what I'm saying. But in the aftermath, that's even more publicity that is used against everybody. That's even more that these rare scenarios are hyped up and talked about. And I'm not saying they shouldn't get discussion. That's not what I'm saying. But again, for the vast majority of people, it's like a one-on-one thing. And usually just having it, just pulling it, just brandishing it. We know this from stats. Is plenty enough to de-escalate or defuse the situation.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Once again, it comes back to no one really knows until they're in that situation. And that's just the reality of it. Another scenario, kind of getting back to everybody carrying and whether or not they should carry. One of the reasons why I don't, there are people that don't have the mental capabilities to carry, to make that conscious decision to take someone's life. And that's okay. I don't put those people down. I just assume you not carry, my personal opinion. Now there's the other side of this. When I went, this is a few years back when they brought out the enhanced concealed carry permit here in Arkansas, I went and got that done pretty much immediately. My daughter had just turned 21. I guess that's about 5 years ago. Yeah. My daughter had just turned 21 and she got her regular concealed carry permit at the same time. When we went out to do the shooting test for the enhanced, it's a 50 round test. Got to score, I think you have to hit 42 or something like that of the 50, whatever it is. There was an individual, I'm not going to give race, gender, anything. There was an individual that had bought a gun the day before, brought it to the class. It was still in the box. First time this person had ever shot that gun or any gun was there to take their concealed carry test. Needless to say, I literally told the instructor at one point that if either I go or this other person goes, because this person was flagging me, my daughter, and other people at least 10 times throughout the process. Had no idea what this person was doing. They had no clue how to handle anything. They probably never even held a gun until that day. What I would have done if I was that instructor, and I know that we're in a shell issue state, and in Arkansas, bro, it's good. You're going to get your permit. Here's the problem. If I'm that instructor, I don't want that person carrying, because guess what? Guess whose name is in the books for who their person that gave them the permit? It'd be mine. I'd be like, look, I think that you need to go and take a couple courses, or at least, if nothing else, go shoot for a month or two, kind of get used to this, know what you're doing. because flagging someone is not good, and they would have been kicked off my range at that point. That's one of the reasons why I also don't think everyone should carry. There are people that are just dangerous that could actually do more harm with a firearm than that threat. And so that's also another scenario. I'm going to kind of open up to the floor. Are there other scenarios besides mentally not being prepared or just inexperienced, if you will, with a firearm? Are there any other scenarios that you think maybe someone shouldn't be carrying? And we'll go ahead and open the floor up.
Well, can I ask if you know of a situation, but since you were talking about that specific scenario there, before I forget.
Yeah.
Do you know of a situation where any licensed firearm carrier, licensed by the state, do you know of any scenario where anybody out there in the chat or on the panel? Because I don't. Anybody has gotten in trouble in any way, shape, form, or fashion that's been a licensed carrier that anything has ever come back on the instructor? Because I don't.
You mean like the instructor?
One of their students, let's say, and I'm using air quotes, right? Gets
No,
in trouble
are you saying
for some reason. I'm asking you. Yeah, it comes back on the instructor. I don't know of any cases where that's ever happened.
No, I'm not talking about legally coming back. For me personally, I would hate to know that I was the instructor that let that person get a permit.
This is true. Yeah, I get it, but that's a personal thing, right?
That's a personal thing. Absolutely. I don't know of any that have ever come back. There might be some other states that are more serious about that kind of thing. I don't know, but I do know that every time that you go get either your initial permit in Arkansas or a renewal and you go through that class, that instructor signs that paperwork and puts their instructor number down. So there is a record of who authorized XYZ a permit. I don't know if there's any legalities that can come back. I'm sure there could. I don't know if there would be. In some states, there probably would be more than others, you know. Budget, were you going to say something? Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, you were talking about what other circumstances do we think that someone shouldn't carry a gun, and anybody that's under the influence of any mind-altering substance, leave it at home.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason why most states don't allow firearms in places that serve alcohol or whatever. There's a reason why most states don't allow you to legally carry in a bar.
Well, if you're not going to be drinking, I don't have an issue with that.
But if you're drinking,
or if you're high, or if you're under, some serious meds that are going to impair your judgment, the responsible thing to do is leave it at home.
Well, and I smoke my meth before I leave.
Well, that's yeah.
I mean, you can tell by the looks of me, I'm doing this quite a bit now.
So it's not just it could be prescription things. It could be a case. I want to take it a step further to where maybe you're carrying and maybe you're allowed to carry at work, right? Or whatever. And you're carrying and you're like, man, I don't feel good. And so you go from work to the doctor, and you're not feeling good, right? It's like, we've all been there, right? To where you're not really with it. Your head hurts or you got a fever or whatever the case may be.
Sure.
And you're not really in your right mind. Well, that might be a time to when you get in the car from work to go to the doctor or go to the pharmacy to get your medicine or whatever. Maybe you unholster that thing and maybe you put it up because you're like, I don't, I'm not as alert as I should be. I'm not going to be as responsive as I should be. My vision may be impaired, slightly in some way, and now if it gets too bad, you shouldn't even be driving, of course.
True.
But we've all taken that chance where, we don't feel good or whatever the case may be. And it's like, I'm just trying to get home,
Yep. Real quick, super chat from Mandatory Carry. Appreciate you. Says, keep fighting. Will do, sir. Going back to the bar thing, Rich White says, West Virginia allows carrying in bars as long as you're not drinking alcohol. We can carry, if you have an enhanced concealed carry in Arkansas, you can carry in a bar. Not a problem. Here's the thing, though, and we're talking about responsibilities. Even if you're not drinking, there's a part of me, played devil's advocate here, but for the discussion, there's a part of me that says even if you're not drinking, should you carry inside a bar? Because you might not be the one to instigate something. You might get something happen to you at a bar. And do you want that first movement is to grab your gun? More importantly, if you get into a bar fight, what if someone grabs the gun from you and all of that? So I don't know. What do you guys think about, carrying in bars in general, whether you're drinking or not? Do you think it's okay for someone to carry in a bar if they're not drinking?
I don't necessarily think it's a good idea, but then again, I don't necessarily think it's a good idea to go to bars to begin with. It's kind of a reason why I don't.
That's fair. Yeah.
I only carry my Gerson when I'm drinking at the bar.
Oh, shit.
Okay. I carry a bar. I don't really care.
No, I get it. No, I'm not saying that you should. I'm asking the question because that's something that maybe especially for someone that's kind of new to carrying, maybe a little less experienced. It's just one of those things. I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah. I don't think anybody that's carrying a place like that you can carry if you are licensed to or can or whatever your state is doing it trying to create a problem.
No.
Like I'm not going somewhere that I know that we're gonna, night after at SHOT Show or something where we know what's gonna happen. Like I'm not taking something there because obvious. But like we're at a bar and a couple buddies are having something, I'm hanging out or whatever. Yeah, I don't care what a sign says.
Pat, $10 super chat. Thank you very much. Says as long as you're not drinking a dinner, I'm fine with that. Hey, Chicago says Gerson. I heard that. Well, Chicago, you may not understand who's on the panel, but that rebel scum over there, that's Mr. Gerson himself, not literally Mr. Gerson, but Chase works for EAA, who the importer of Gerson. So he's a good friend of ours.
Mr. Gerson.
That's Mrs. Gerson.
Oh, okay.
That's Mrs.
or Miss Gerson. Yeah,
I'm way taller.
Chicago, and I can tell you I've witnessed it. Chicago Mike is damn good with that Gerson too.
Yeah, it's not hard to be good with a Gerson. Anyways, so here's the next topic. Well, yeah,
never shot one. Couldn't tell you.
Oh my God, come on! All right,
I had a really good one the other day. I'll tell y'all about later.
You're going to range day Monday, aren't you, Mike?
Well, yeah.
Okay, well, they'll be there. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you shooting some Gersons.
Cool.
And you'll meet Paul. You won't meet Chase on Monday. You'll probably would have met him maybe Sunday night. Maybe there's a chance that Chase goes to dinner this Sunday. Just saying. But you'll meet Paul. So what I'm going to tell you is a disclaimer. I think that Chase will agree. Please do not judge EAA and or Gerson or any of the families by meeting Paul. I will say
this is a great opportunity, and Budget's bunking with us, right? This is a great opportunity to get together and really figure out how to mess with Paul because he don't know Budget.
Oh no, that'll be so much fun.
That's true. He didn't expect this from me and Clover and Snob. He won't expect it from Budget. This would be wonderful.
Here's a little secret, Budget, though. You have to go do your EAA interview with Paul. It'll make you a better.
Yes.
It'll make you a better editor if you can do an interview with Paul.
Oh my God!
And then you can do the real one later on, but you got to do at least one interview with Paul.
We'll do the actual one at the show, and somebody who's literate can talk to you better.
We should do dude. The best video in the world would be Snob interviewing Paul, and we'd have to put closed caption subtitles below it to understand what's being said.
I made the mistake in 2020 to interview Paul. It was rough. It took me like 3 days to edit. It was rough.
Did it end up looking like a kung fu movie?
Can we straighten this out now? Mike has to interview Paul, and then I get to interview Chase, right? Is that what we're saying here?
I mean, I'm good with that.
There'll be a couple other people that will be in the booth, Chris, that we might have you interview instead of Chase. Just saying.
All right.
There could be some interesting conversations, especially with the Turks there.
Hey, keep in mind, Chase does speak hillbilly, which is real close to Okie. So Chase could
Is it hillbilly or is it redneck?
he can interpret.
Is it
He can
hillbilly or
interpret.
redneck?
He can interpret for snob. I'm just saying. I've been there. I've seen it. He can do it.
I'm fluent in southeastern dialects all over. It's all right.
Dialects. I love it.
Hey, I'm from
That's a
Upper
big word.
Appalachia. I could wing it. I can understand it at least.
I'm going to send the link out there to Chicago Mike.
Heck yeah.
Wants to join in. There's the link. Come on in. So the next question, he's going to talk about Gerson, but we're also going to have him discuss some of this also. But the next thing I have on my topic is this, and this is not to just say anything disparagingly to anyone, but we all know people like this in our lives. There are people out there that truly carry because it makes them feel better about themselves. It gives them this false sense of being stronger, more of a badass. Those people, in my eyes, are just as dangerous as the people that have very little experience, because those are the people that might be looking for a reason to draw and shoot when there might not be a reason for it at the time. They might kind of, how do I put this, create scenarios so that they use that. And those are the kind of people also that I get scared of, because those are just as dangerous as the enemy in my case, in my opinion. I'm sure we all know people like that. You don't have to name anyone, but
I know a guy here. We were talking the other night on the phone, and was kind of expressing my thoughts on at least one gentleman around here that I know, and he this particular individual, at last count, and it's been several years since I've heard the count, but at last count, and he does have a license to carry, at last count, and this is coming from police departments and sheriff's office, right? Deputies, I know.
Yeah.
At last count, this fool, and I'm going to say it because he is a fool.
He said this fool.
This fool has left his gun in the bathroom at various places. God. 6 different times at last count, and that was years ago. 6
he shouldn't be carrying
times.
So, yeah,
that's not good.
I typically keep track of my gun.
If you're gonna carry, keep it on you.
Typically, I think we all typically do, don't we?
I mean, sometimes when I go to the bathroom, I hang it by the trigger guard on the little coat hook on the back of the door. I figure that's a good place to keep it. But...
Yeah, heck yeah, why not?
Yeah, just because we know where they are doesn't mean we're still safe with them.
Yeah.
But keeping track of them, sometimes you leave them in the snow for a few months. It's what it is.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying my carry gun. I have lost my fair share of guns in my life.
So okay, I will concede the fact, right? That Glock was fully locked and loaded and left unattended for days at a time. But to be fair, it was in the middle of East Texas nowhere, buried under a foot of snow. I don't think it was.
And ain't no damn Texan going out in the snow looking for anything.
Like, I don't think anybody was going to just happen across that Glock. I don't think.
No, you never know.
Actually, I was doing a torture test on it. Y'all make fun.
But is that what it was? Okay,
I did not forget that on the range.
It's your story. Tell it how you want.
I was doing a torture test on that Glock. Come on.
It's your story.
Tell it how you want. Through the night. Yeah, I think even Bristol knows that's bullshit. Duncan says, hell, reported gun stolen in Massachusetts. Bam, you just lost your license to carry. Yeah, that's probably a lot of states are probably like that. Let's bring in Chicago Mike. What's up, bro?
Gentlemen, what's going on?
Whoa. We don't.
Gentlemen's a strong word for this crowd.
We do not cuss in this room. Gentlemen is a banned word on here.
Absolutely not. Not around here.
Are you trying to be funny, or are you for real?
No, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not serious. You can't see me because my camera's off. I ain't serious, bro. You gotta say what you gotta say.
ain't nothing on this show for real.
Hey,
nothing.
Well, I heard.
Yeah, no shit.
I heard her son, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna definitely have to go on. Now, who on here doesn't like her sons?
The rebel scum guy, he can't stand them.
The rebel scum can't stand
Not at all.
Why don't you like Gersons, man?
Because I got to deal with them every day.
Hey, man. Let me tell you something. Like a Beretta 92 and a Gerson, they're basically the same. The Gerson can take Beretta parts.
Hold on. It's better. It's okay. You can say it.
Yes. The Gerson is better.
This is beautiful.
The Gerson is better than the. Now I like the Beretta. I like the Beretta 92 as well, but I like the Gerson better. Not because it's $200 less than the Beretta. I'm like,
fucking
okay,
let them have it, Mike. Just fucking let them have it.
I will say
how bad you don't like it.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I love the fact that it's $200 less. We talk.
Right.
That's like really high. That's really high on my list. I hate to tell you.
You can put Beretta parts in it. Okay, so say like you buy a $500 Gerson, you can turn it into like an $800 gun if you want to add like the LTT or the M Carbo kit, get the springs polished.
Heck
you can put a Beretta 92 slide on the Gerson frame and it'll still shoot like butter.
Heck, you could put a Gerson slide on a Beretta. There's a kit for it.
And you could put the lock grips on there too.
Oh yeah,
this is beautiful.
The Gerson's got a better locking block though than that Italian crap.
Oh, 100%.
Yes,
Better slide too. Way better slide.
Yes, sir. I wish I can go to SHOT Show with y'all and show y'all, but I will not be attending.
That's all right. We'll talk trash in the booth for you.
Mm-hmm.
No, save it for the NRA if y'all going to the NRA because I'm definitely going to that.
So, Mike, have you ever shot any of the P35s or the 1911s from Gerson as well?
I have not, but I'm planning on buying the 1911 Gerson. I've seen a couple. Now I have seen the Terrorist 1911. It was like $5. It was like $575. I was like, let me go ahead and get that Gerson. So what caliber are you thinking? Like 10 or 45 or 9 or what caliber? 45.
45.
45. Yeah.
Right. All right. I want to go ahead and say this. I love this. This is beautiful.
Ruin it all. Why don't you?
Chase, why don't you introduce yourself to Mike?
I mean, I'm nobody. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chase is a big wig at EAA that actually do the importing of Gerson. He works hand in hand with Gerson. So Chase is a good person to know if you like Gerson because he literally is in the room, if you will, with Gerson. Yep. Yeah.
That's why I joked about I deal with them every day.
He literally deals with them every day because it's what he's in the industry. He works for EAA, which imports all the Gerson. And we know that Gerson, and this is something that we were talking about, Clover and I have been talking about last night a little bit. And I'm sure, Chase, you get this all the time, but people say, I'm never going to buy any of that stuff because it's made in Turkey, like whether it's Canik or Gerson or whatever. First of all, your money's not going to Turkey. It's not going to the terrorists. Okay. Your money's going to the gun shop. The gun shop's going to the distributor. The distributor is going to EAA. EAA's money's going to Gerson. And you can tell us straight up, Chase, to your knowledge, does Gerson support terrorist activities in Turkey?
No, I mean, there's not like that crazy. This is not like it's like Syria falling apart. I mean, Turkey's a very modern, like normal country.
Exactly.
Holy shit. No, Turkey's a NATO. Ally. Yeah, I mean, Turkey's a NATO member. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Like
it's not like we're buying North Vietnamese Gersons.
Yeah,
I hear those are hard to get a hold of.
Right.
Can't get all those politics these days. Yeah. I got the North Korean model Victory Edition. Oh, that's right.
The Daewoo.
My North Korean skies over there.
Yeah.
They'd probably make them better.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But yeah, I love the fact that people say, I'll never buy a Turkish gun because it's supporting terrorists. Okay.
Yeah.
like, hey, if that's your deal, hey, I'm not going to tell you not to.
Good luck owning a shotgun.
But I'm going to say like 75% of shotguns in the world are made in Turkey. Hope you don't own. If you own several shotguns in your inventory, you probably already own a Turkish shotgun. Just saying.
I mean, I don't care whose name's on it. If you start looking at the barrel or look underneath a handguard somewhere, 80% of them's probably pretty accurate on where they're made. Doesn't matter whose name, and there's some big names that are all made in Turkey.
Not necessarily the assembly, right? So I mean, the receiver.
No.
But there are parts.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't buy Turkish stuff because it supports Chase and he's an asshole. But other than that,
this is a good point.
Full disclosure.
I don't mind supporting Chase. I refuse to support Paul.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna love
Defense Dad says
in January.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so good. Defense Dad says we had turkey for dinner. Does that count? I do not support turkey for dinner because you are slaughtering innocent turkeys. So in my eyes, that is a terroristic act. I'm just saying. No, I'm just messing with you.
Turkey's all got it covered.
Mike, I do not see you as muted. Go ahead and talk. Yeah, something might be up with your audio because I do not show you as muted, and I can't. No, Chicago, Mike. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
He's saying his audio is weird. Yeah, we call you Budget.
Okay.
Chicago. Yeah, he's going to jump out and come back in. He was not showing he was muted, but I could not hear a word he was saying. So, now Defense Desk says I own Turkish gun. Loves a SAR 9. I love a SAR 9. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of great things coming out of Turkey. And it had been for a while. It's just, and Chase, you might be able to bring this up, but why has kind of like the Turkish handgun explosion happened in the last 5 or 6 years? Was it hard to get imports before that, or were they already here? Just no one knew about them, or what?
Some of it was already here and they knew about them, and you've had a handful of really good manufacturers been around for 30, 40 years or do really good work, but most people just didn't know about them. That's what it really comes down to, is the general American public didn't know, or they were making guns under license for other companies.
Well,
there you go.
That a lot of people didn't realize.
One thing I got when back at NRA, I had the privilege of going to dinner with some of the Turks and Chase and whatever.
The privilege.
That's when. Well, privilege. I want to be nice about it.
Huge in Turkey.
I want to be nice about it. I am. I have to. I'm the spokesperson for Turkey apparently now. But anyway,
can y'all hear me now?
Oh yeah, we can hear you for sure now. Yeah, you sound good.
All right, cool.
And but real quick, one of the things that fascinated me about the conversations that were had and stuff is it seemed almost like, they have the technology, they have all this awesome machinery that rivals any major manufacturer in the United States as far as technology and everything else, but yet they don't have their pulse on the American market. So in talking with these guys, we were talking about old milsurps they could bring back, a lot of other stuff, and they were like, for example, I mean, just throwing something out there, that we were hypothetical, right? And we said something about like an M1 Garand, right? A modern Turkish version of an M1 Garand or whatever.
By the way, I'm down. I'm in.
Right. I think everybody would say that, right? And the guys literally at the table were like, "Oh, really? You think people would like that?" And we're like, "Oh my God!" So
it's like bring out Turkish Mauser, like in the country. People are like that wouldn't sell. I'm like, are you high?
Oh my God!
That would sell.
And so
you break the internet.
where a lot of Turkish companies, I think, and Chase, you can back me up on this or whatever, where I think a lot of not just Turkish companies, but I think international companies get crossed is they don't have the proper alliances within the United States to give them proper feedback on what would be popular, what they need to produce, that sort of thing. Yep. And I think that's one of the reasons Gerson does such a good job. It's not just that they have the technology, machining wise, they do a great job and all that, but they're getting proper input from the guys at the AA, like Chase, not Paul, but at least Chase.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the issues that you have. And it's not just Turkey. It's a European thing in general. A lot of them don't have the pulse on America, and a lot of them don't care to have their pulse on America from dealing with a lot of other European companies in the past.
Italy.
Yeah, Italy, Germany. They really don't care. It's our way or the highway. They always know better than you, and then they get mad when something doesn't work. And I'm like, well, didn't somebody try to tell you that wasn't going to work in the U.S. beforehand?
Yep.
But that's a lot of the issue you run into there is they don't have a pulse. And I mean, there's different countries and different areas of the world have kind of their own style or flair that doesn't necessarily equate to what the U.S. market wants or whatever market they're trying to break into.
I'm just kind of concerned that Clover's the one with the pulse on this because now all Turkey's going to import is 22s and shotguns.
No, I don't have a pulse on this. Not at all. I'm just really huge in Turkey. That's all.
Yeah, they started sharing his videos, and now he's like
he
popular
gets
over
hundreds
there,
of views in Turkey.
I would get mobbed if I took a trip to Turkey. Like literally at the airport, it would be like
literally
boys.
gets tens and tens
Do
of
they hate
views.
the Irish there or what?
Dude,
Right,
that's
crazy.
because they'd be after your Lucky Charms. Don't lie.
Well, there could be.
Oh,
Dang, Mike dropped again. Dang it! Come on, Mike.
Come on, Mike. Hope he might be in
Mike
cell
drop.
hell or something. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
He might be in
I
cell
want
hell.
to take. I honestly want to go to Turkey with Clover just to watch him try to eat.
Dude, he wouldn't eat anything because he wouldn't know what it is.
As long as I have a translator, I'm good.
All you'd hear is they don't have real Mexican food in Turkey. Mexican food in Turkey sucks.
I guarantee
Turkey's never heard of
Turkish Mexican food. The Turkish Mexican food would not be very good. I'm going to go on a limb and say that.
No, I wouldn't think it would be.
Chase, have you had Mexican food in Turkey?
No, I haven't. I gotta ask Keith if he has. Now I gotta know. I do know that like the people we work with a lot are like friends with Salt Bay, like for real. So like they knew him before he became this like internet sensation and all this stuff. And they're like, yeah, we used to eat with him all the time, and now he wants like $400 for a steak, so we're kind of out.
Yeah.
So there's normal food.
Hey, you got the EAA Platinum card, bro. You can do what you got to do.
Yeah, well, I'm still not paying. I don't want a gold leaf steak. I don't care how much money you spend on it.
You wouldn't? Really?
No, not really.
You wouldn't want to try? You wouldn't want to know what a $400 steak tastes like?
I've had gold leaf in food before. It's terrible. Like I want to enjoy the food. Like I want to enjoy the experience. I mean, like gold leaf and a dessert or something's one thing. I mean, it's no different than Goldschlager when we were all younger.
Yeah, I used to shit gold all the time when I was a kid because I would do so much of that shit.
But
my shit was worse than back then. Yeah. Chicago Mike says, I'll definitely take a trip to EAA. Here's a great thing about EAA, guys. They're bringing in some great firearms and all that. And I would say this even if Chase wasn't here. But the people over there are like for real, like they're good people. Bit crazy, but they're my kind of crazy.
A bit crazy.
We're super PC and very corporate.
Yes, yes. I'll put it this way. I will say this. Budget. I don't know if anyone's told you yet. On Tuesday of SHOT, it is coat and tie. Like usually, most people wear like dress up on Tuesday. But I will say this. If you don't have a sport coat, no matter what day it is, to walk in EAA's booth, you need a sport coat. If you don't have one, they will provide one. They are uppity like that. Just saying.
Yeah,
I don't own one.
I've even got like the British like fox hunting like red ones. If you really want to get fancy with it.
If you really want to have fun, they do have smoking jackets as well. It is kind of one of those things.
Oh yeah,
Clover wears a smoking jacket because he'll get out his pipe and try to be all sophisticated.
A smoking jacket. I thought that was like the one you got with the Marlboro points or stamps or whatever back in the day.
Right? Yeah,
it says, I used to have them with a camel on it.
Mine says Stuntman on the sleeve. So just saying.
Oh, is it the bright red like shiny jacket? The old the old Lee Majors red stuntman jacket? That'd be awesome.
It was Hooper, wasn't it?
Was it Hooper?
Stuntman on the sleeve? Yeah, I think Burt Reynolds. Yeah, I think so.
Was it? Okay. Yeah, I knew it was one of those, the shiny red members only looking kind of jacket thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was a shit back in the day.
Dude, those are coming back, by the way. Like, members only is a thing again.
God, I hope not.
I'm dead serious. I saw that shit the other day and died.
Does Paul have
terrible.
one?
I'm still waiting on the Bugle Boys, the Stonewashed Bugle Boys, to come back. I'm in then.
Bugle Boys
Bugle
with
Boys.
how about OP, man? Remember the old OP stuff? OP was a shit back in the day.
I just want to know how long it took me to realize that someone changed my name to my beard.
You just now saw that? I'm just saying that someone else besides me has power in this live stream. I don't know who it is, but it's just what it is. But it is awesome, my friend. It is awesome.
It's photo.
We have gone way past the topic. We are, as the Gear Report says, we're in the shit shooting portion of the show. So
I thought we started
that topic, man, it was gone a long time ago.
Yeah, it was going along. It was a topic that I wanted to bring up, but it's an uncomfortable topic, and I'll get back to it just for a second. Yeah, I think if people are honest about it, I think there are certain people in certain situations that should not be carrying. And as much as I support concealed carry and believe that everyone should want to, it doesn't mean that they should. That's just my take.
Well, I think it goes back to the thing of we need to police our own so the government doesn't think they need to police us.
100%. I couldn't agree more with that one.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
the case in point is the first time I took my concealed carry class here in Ohio, the instructor was an absolute moron. And he's one of those guys that we're talking about that just shouldn't even carry a gun, let alone be teaching a concealed carry class. You know, he was passing off such gems of wisdom as go to the flea market and buy a steak knife that's different from what you have in your drawer. That way, if you got to shoot somebody, you can put it in their hands and other stuff
that's
like
a good
that.
idea. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Make sure you carry Full Metal Jacket rounds so it'll poke 2 holes and they'll bleed more. Stuff like that. I called the NRA and told them all about it and got witness statements from other people who were there and told the NRA all about it. And he ended up losing his instructor cert because he was a complete fucking idiot. And I don't feel bad about snitching at all on that one because I think that he could have done more damage than he did good. Just saying.
I think when we talk about policing our own, there's 2 sides to that. Our community does a whole lot of policing our own, you know what I'm saying, as far as opinions of what other people do and all of this other stuff, getting in other people's business, so to speak. I think where we lack is on the other side of it. You know, there's 2 sides to that coin of self-regulated and self-policing as a community. Is you've got to have the ability to stop and think when somebody throws a criticism, right, or an idea or a suggestion or something your way, instead of jumping straight to being defensive and that guy's just a butthole or whatever, which quite often is the case, let's be honest. But taking a quick second to be objective and go, hey, is there any validity to that, right?
Right.
And then making those self-adjustments accordingly. So just because somebody says something in a way that's maybe rude or hateful or degrading or whatever, doesn't necessarily make it untrue. And we've got to be willing to stop sometimes and take a look at that.
Absolutely. Gonna kind of go around the room real quick. I'm gonna start with Chris. Anything that you want to touch on, kind of clean up of what we talked about tonight, and then kind of go ahead and plug your channel, your projects, so where people can find you and all that stuff. You got the floor.
Yes. Like I said, I appreciate the invite. I think it was a good discussion. One thing that I didn't bring up earlier was, back when that store shooting happened up in New York, I think back during the summer, I actually had someone send me the actual video from the GoPro that guy was wearing. And after watching that, I was like, it kind of changes your whole thought process on what's going to happen in that situation. watching that video, I realized one thing. When that guy got out, when he got out of that car and the people that he killed in that parking lot, I don't care. You could have been the baddest ass shooter in the world. Nobody would have stopped that guy. Jerry Miculek could have been standing right across from that guy, and there was no way that anybody was going to stop the kills in that parking lot. And when he went into that store, I don't know, it was just, you hear about these shootings, you think about how you're going to handle things like that. But I probably watched that video 50 times in a row, and I kept looking at like different scenarios, like how could this have been stopped? And he killed all those people in less than a minute. I mean, he cleaned out that parking lot, went into that store, cleaned out that store, and was back out that door in a minute. And it was one of the craziest things that I ever watched. And it was like, I was sitting there and I was like running it over my head. I'm like, this is it's kind of like the exact same thing that I do in a USPSA competition, except he was using real people as the targets. And it was so fast. And I guess the point I'm trying to get at is like trying to figure that out, like how you would have stopped that or how you would have done something differently. It all happened in less than a minute. And, it is, you just hope to God that no one's ever going to have to be in that situation, but it's going to happen somewhere, someplace. But it definitely changed the way I looked at it after seeing that, because it was graphic. It was very graphic to watch that. So, not to end it on a low note or anything, but
oh no. I mean, that's what this is about is the conversation. And going into it, like I think that the biggest thing is I think that we as gun owners, all of us have to be completely honest with ourselves when it comes to making the decision to carry. What are your reasons? What is your why? What do you honestly believe that your capabilities are, or what are the things that you can't handle? If we're able to be honest with ourselves individually, I think that we should be okay. I think that it's also a responsibility is if we see someone at the range that may not be very safe and all that, and we think that we're pretty sure that they're carrying, it's okay to say, hey, brother, make me a little nervous. Maybe we should work on some stuff and try to help them in a positive way. One of the things about carrying that I also tell people, and I can't speak it for other states, and I'll come back to you, Chris, and all that here in a second, but I can't speak about it for other states. But in Arkansas, once you get your paperwork done, you send it into the state police, and it takes anywhere from a month to 2 months or so to typically get your permit back. So I tell people all the time, if you're new to carrying, and you have a month or 6 weeks or whatever it is that you're going to have to wait for your permit, that is a perfect opportunity to start carrying inside your house, getting used and carry maybe even with an unloaded magazine at that point, but getting used to carrying. People understand you're going to have to probably change maybe some of your wardrobe or how you wear clothes if you're going to conceal carry. But get used to carrying, get used to dry fire all the time. You've got that month or 6 weeks, put it to use. Learn how to carry, because I see this all the time. People are new to carrying. They go to the grocery store or whatever, and they're constantly touching their gun, like underneath their sweatshirt or whatever. I don't know if you're worried that it's going to fall out or if it's not there anymore. But that brings unnecessary attention to you carrying. So once again, if you're not ready, even when you get your permit, if you feel like you're not ready, you're still nervous, you don't have to carry just because you have your permit. Wait till you are mentally and physically ready to carry. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to bring Chris back in, finish up your thoughts, whatever, and then go ahead and tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on here on YouTube at Chris from the 740, and same over on Instagram. And tomorrow night at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, we'll be doing the Wednesday night live chat over on my channel. And definitely don't want to miss this one. We got a lot of it's 2,000 subscriber party, and we got a lot of cool stuff we're giving away tomorrow night. So
congrats, you've done it the right way, and you're working hard. You're doing a great job. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the help too. You guys have been a big help to me, so thank you.
That's the great thing about this community, and you probably weren't around. You might have heard of, but I don't think that you were around when Gun Channels was an actual thing. The rest of us were part of that Gun Channels crew, but we call the Gun Channels crew, and it's a serious thing. Like, you're part of the Gun Channels crew, even though you weren't really around when Gun Channels was active, I don't think. But the Gun Channels crew is a pretty cool crew. We don't all have to be best friends. We don't all have to get along, because that's just life. But the cool thing about having a crew is you've always going to have someone that you can fall back on that's going to help, and no questions asked and all of that. So it's a cool thing. You're kind of an honorary member of the Gun Channels crew for sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it, bud. Charles Leggett. I don't remember seeing this name out there, but welcome, Charles. He said, I actually had my daughter carry a P320 SIG pellet gun for a month before I got her the Taurus G3C. The pellet gun is a blowback with mag release. That's a great idea. I never thought about that. Yeah, getting a pellet gun, and at least they can get some trigger work with that pellet gun. Hell, even getting something, I would say like a blue gun or something, just something. But if you know what gun you're going to get, you can go ahead and get that gun and just, carry without a magazine, do some dry fire, work on your grip. But a pellet gun's a great way. You're actually going to get the response and get a little bit of that trigger pull in there. That's kind of a cool thing as well. But yeah, it's a great idea. Charles, that's really cool. I never thought about getting the pellet gun up, but that's a good idea. Budget, going to bring you in. Hey, any last thoughts on anything we've talked about? Go ahead and clean that up, and then tell people about your projects and where they can find you.
First off, thanks for the invitation. Glad I can actually take you up on it tonight.
Glad to have you, my brother.
As far as final thoughts on
in 6 weeks, my man. 6 weeks. We'll see you.
Man, that's all the time it is. Holy crap, that's awesome.
Less than that, actually.
To clean up the topic from my end of it, as several people said, and I said in the beginning, everyone has the right to carry. As far as I'm concerned, doesn't matter. You have that right. If you choose to exercise that right, make sure you do so responsibly. And I think a part of that is, while it should never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, be mandatory that you do so, it's a damn good idea to get some kind of training, and to not only train, but practice that training so that you're not fumbling with your draw stroke, so that you know how to clear your cover garment off your pistol. So, okay, as soon as the go button is pushed, I've got to clear my cover garment, draw my pistol, move to cover, and you practice doing those things so that you're not caught just kind of fumbling and end up getting shot before you get done what needs to get done. That stuff doesn't happen just immediately just because you carry the gun. It's not a magical talisman that makes you Defender Man. It doesn't work that way. Get some training.
Also, just because you're carrying a gun doesn't make you a trained operator or anything like that. Yeah, there's a lot to be said about if you're inexperienced and new to guns and all that, and you're nervous about handling, there is a legitimate way of you hurting yourself. You shoot the inside part of your thigh, you got about 20 seconds before you bleed out. Just saying. So yeah, be smart. Yeah. It's okay to admit to yourself and other people, I'm not ready. It's okay. It's actually responsible. We talk about being responsible gunners. Part of the responsibility is knowing your limitations. Let's just be honest about it.
Absolutely right. That being said, I'm Mike. Despite the fact that I am the YouTuber formerly known as Budget, I'm Mike with MK Outdoor Journal.
We need to give you like a print symbol, like a print symbol. The artist formerly known as.
That's it. That's it. The artist formerly known as Budget. Find me here on YouTube at MK Outdoor Journal. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Same handle, MK Outdoor Journal. I've kind of put my live stream on hiatus for now, mostly because I need to get this crap behind me, done and out of here and dealt with, right. And my studio remodeled, and I kind of want to wipe that slate clean and start fresh with it. The Right of the People will be back. Just it's going to be a little bit, probably sometime after SHOT Show. In the meantime, I'm going to try to start putting out some more produced content. I know I haven't done that in a while. That's another reason why my live stream is on hiatus, because I was focusing on that, and I want to focus back on, actually reviewing some guns and doing some shooting videos and stuff. If you are into leathercraft, you might want to check out the newest video I dropped about Weaver Leather's retail store opening up, which to me is a huge thing. Weaver Leather is one of the big names in providing leathercraft items and tools and leather and all that. And they just finally opened their retail store. The good thing about that is they're only about 15 minutes away from my day job. So they let me go over there and shoot some video, and I give a little store tour and whatnot. So go check that out if you're into that kind of thing. Once again, 100%. Thanks for having me here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at SHOT.
100%. We noticed that Chase jumped out. But Chase had to jump out, but he is still on the live chat. So it's nice to see Chase out there giving us some comments out there in the chat. So nice to see him again. Let's see here. Chicago Mike says, I do this every Tuesday at 7 Central, the real time zone. Being in Chicago, that's your time zone. But yeah, every Tuesday at 7 Central, man. Hit me up if you want to come on. I'd love to have you on anytime. I don't think I've got your email, so send me an email. Send it to ghosttactical@yahoo.com or whatever. There's an email in the description of this video that you can reach me on as well. Send me emails. I'll have your email so I can send you a link if you ever want to come on for a show. Snob, the only thing that we truly care about what you have to say is that Bristol's okay. So other than that, if you were going to do anything content wise, where can people find you and what would that be?
I don't do content.
Yeah,
I'm not as bad as Budget. I do more than he does, but
you definitely do more than Sarge. Although I did see a Sarge video come out.
Dude, it's not hard to do more content than I do. I mean, just like put something out and you've got more content. I've been lazy lately.
I've really got some stuff I've got to do. It ain't going to happen until after this weekend. So, but I got to try to get some stuff done if it doesn't rain this weekend.
Chicago, Mike Chris, he says he'll be at your live chat tomorrow night. He said he'll be there. Go ahead and let us know where we can find you on the interwebs and all of that stuff. Do you have any projects coming up besides trying to get Bristol healthy?
No, I got a few things I need to review, but other than that, not really. I didn't get ready for SHOT, but yeah, you can find me. I'm the Gun Snob on the YouTubes. And
he is the Gun Snob. That is for damn sure. It is for sure. Real quick,
still Gun Snob.
Stuck up some.
He's still Gun Snob. Yeah. For real, HVS, it's been a minute, bro. So yeah, it is good to see you out there. Yeah, bro, it's been a minute, a couple minutes probably. So yeah, welcome back. I hope to see more of you. For sure.
What are the odds? What are the odds he's still talking about cryptocurrency and lava tubes?
Just saying, cryptocurrency's doing better than mine.
Well,
and karambits. That's another HBS thing. Like, good Lord.
Well, see, me and him used to have really good conversation about karambits, but he lost me back in the day about the lava shooters and the crypto. At the time, I didn't even know what cryptocurrency. I didn't know what Bitcoin was back in those days. What the hell are you talking about?
You're right. You're right. I didn't know
There
what
you go.
lava were,
Nice. Yeah. Nice. There you go. I put a short out yesterday, and it was a Keramet that I had that was this one that I'm carrying in my pocket. And I used the old Crocodile Dundee. That's not a knife. That's a knife. It was pretty funny. I had a good one time with those. Real quick, Mike the Shoes, do you have an Instagram? Well, thanks for bringing that up, asshole. I'm not calling you an asshole because you're an asshole. No, a few weeks ago, my Instagram got deleted. Thank you. Rich put my new one out there. So I did start a new Instagram out there. It's Ghost Tactical 2.0. Obviously it's going to take me a while to build it up. I probably won't ever get it to where the other one was as far as follower counts, which is fine. But I am asking if you are on Instagram, go follow Ghost Tactical 2.0. That is the new Instagram. But yeah, my
Instagram do that on purpose?
They deleted my Facebook and Instagram and the email.
Why?
This is the weekend. I'm getting ready to tell you. This was Wanamaker weekend. So Friday night, I realized it kept logging me out and I couldn't get into Instagram. I was like, what the hell's going on? That next morning I get an email. And so that night I had to take a picture of my driver's license and all this. I think that's just something they ask you to do. Well, I get an email Saturday morning and it said that we have disabled your Instagram and Facebook. I got two separate ones. And they're both the same thing. Due to security reasons, we can give you no more information, but this decision is final. It gave me no recourse, no way to challenge it or anything. And about an hour after that email came in, they were gone. And I'm not talking my Ghost Tactical Facebook. This was my personal Facebook. Gone. So which means now I can't even get to my Ghost Tactical Facebook because that was tied to my personal. My Ghost Tactical Facebook's still there, but I can't do anything with it. So it's just sitting there in limbo.
Do you have a Threeper tattoo or something?
Right. I have no idea. To this day, there has been no reasoning as to why it's gone, but it is gone. But yeah, so if you're out there and you are on Instagram, I'm asking everybody to go follow Ghost Tactical 2.0. We'll see what happens. But yeah. Fuddalorian, I know you don't do shit on YouTube. He's got 27 channels, but he doesn't do anything with them. But if you were going to do anything, what could people find you? Do you want to talk about all 27 channels or what? It's up to you.
No, I'm not going to talk about all 27 channels. I dropped a video on the CloverTech channel earlier.
I saw that right before the show. Yeah. Evolution
of my EDC rotation, which spans from 98 to 2022 and 11, depends on how you count them, I guess, 11 or 14 handguns, one of the two. So it's a longer video than normally I put out. Still, I think it was about 8.5 minutes, so not crazy long for covering that many firearms. But yeah, if anybody wants to know kind of the history of what I've been through with carry, there it is, and it may give you some ideas or some thoughts, on your own evolution, because it does evolve over time, like things happen. What else? Oh, I see you put the link out there earlier for the Ghost and Clover stickers, and so officially we are past the halfway point. So nice. They're limited to 200. Clovertech.com/shot2023. They're limited to 200. We are over the halfway point. Once we sell all of them, we will announce the winner of the $1,600
Even if it takes 6 years. Even if it takes 6 years, we're going to wait this out.
It won't. It won't. We're over halfway there now, so it won't. And honestly, the last person to buy some just before this show started, I wanted to mention that. I doubt very seriously they're listening. And we'll talk about why.
What does that mean?
But yeah, we'll talk about why off air.
What does that mean, bro?
But anyway, they were one of several people that have bought 10.
Oh, nice.
So keep in mind, you don't have to buy just one. You can buy as many as you want. Quite a few people have bought 10. The more people that buy Well, first of all, for every 5 you buy, you get an extra entry, which is nice.
Yep.
But the more you buy, the better your odds are going to be, because we've talked about that before. If everybody bought 5, your odds of winning that would be 1 in 40. I mean, do the math, right? So, with everybody that buys 5 and 10, I mean, the odds just get better and better and better for that prize package. But I don't know if you was listening earlier, and I don't want to give away a lot of details, but we may be adding a secondary, like a second place prize.
I did hear that.
I don't want to give that away just yet, because we got to talk. Obviously, we haven't had time to discuss that. But just keep tabs on that site, clovertech.com/shot2023. If we do add the secondary prize, then, and I think that's a $300 or $400 prize.
I heard it was a $400 value is what he said.
Yeah, something like that. So
I heard that's
about right. I've got one. That's about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't, like I said, we haven't finalized. I'm not saying that's a thing, but keep tabs on that website, whether you're looking to buy the stickers or you already have. And if that becomes a thing, we will certainly add that I'll get that added to the website so everybody knows. Other than that, man, that's it. I think.
Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah. It's we'll talk about that. I don't see any reason why that can't happen. But yeah, logistically we'll have to talk about some things. But yeah, those certs are pretty badass. Really, really cool things. I've had one for about 4 years now. And I kind of when they were about a year old, they came out about 5 years ago, I guess. And I got one about a year after, because I wanted to kind of hear what people thought. And I like it. It's pretty cool. You know, I got a Glock 19 one, and it fits in holsters, and it's a really cool. It's a really, really cool training device for sure. Thanks for coming on. Budget and Chris and Snob. Chase was on earlier. Chicago Mike, we had issues. We're going to get him on some other time for sure. Go check him out. Chicago Mike the Shooter on YouTube, and I'm sure he's probably on Instagram and all that stuff. Looking forward to the next month to 5 weeks or whatever it's going to be. Prepping for SHOT. There's going to be a lot of probably chats about SHOT. People are going to probably get sick of SHOT. There's no way for me to get sick of talking SHOT. I can talk year round about it. Go check out Tuesday mornings at 9 Central. I keep saying Central because that's the real time zone. Tuesday mornings at 9 Central over at Gun Website's YouTube channel. He and Clover do every week. They do a great SHOT Show chat. They have for the last month or so. They're probably going to go, I'm assuming, all the way to SHOT Show. There will be one where they bring in a bunch of guys who've been going for a while to talk about it. But next week on Tuesday at 9 Central, as of now, the time might change. But I know that there's going to be 2 or 3 people and maybe more that are going to be first timers going to SHOT are going to be on with Clover and G. Budget is going to be a first timer this year. Chris is going to be a first timer this year. I know that She Fires has been going to those chats a lot. She's going to be a first timer this year. There's a lot of people going that's going to be a first timer. If you are interested in joining that chat, I'm sure Clover, you can probably get a hold of Clover and probably get you on if you're willing to jump in on a live stream. If nothing else, get into the side chat on those things and ask questions, because that's what it's there for. I watch them just because, even if I'm, you can always learn something.
Yeah.
And we can always share more advice on the side chat as well. So.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about those is, you've been a regular participant, as has Miso Gunsnob down there, been regular participants. And it's great because, we typically go over whatever the topic is, and we field some questions along that line, and then we cover all the questions. But you guys are addressing those questions at the same time, and maybe things we don't see in the side chat. So there is a place for people that have been to SHOT before, to help out. So. Yeah, we definitely
to be fair,
appreciate
you do not have to be there at 9. You can show up at like noon, and it's still going.
And you're still talking.
Today's was a little shorter, but last week you can show up at like 3 o'clock, and it was still going.
G can talk, man. He can talk with the best of them. Yeah.
The great thing about G, if you guys don't know G, the great thing about G is he is a wealth of knowledge. it's just very difficult to keep him on track. We'll just say that. I think he starts out every chat with good intentions of going for an hour, but 4 hours later, he's still rambling. So I love it. A lot of great information. A lot of great information.
Yeah. But G loves shot, and you can tell it. And listening to him, he gets all in on it.
Well, I think we all do. All of us that have been realize it. And
Very
that's passionate. The thing. Until you go, you don't know what you don't know. It's that simple.
And it's going to be awesome. I can't, more importantly, I can't wait to talk to She Fires and Chris and Budget and some of the other ones that are going this year for the first time. I can't wait till a week after we get home from shot and everyone's rested and all that to have a conversation about their experiences, because here's the thing, we build shot up a lot because we all love it. And sometimes you think, well, maybe I hope we don't overhype it, oversell it. I don't think we can. But I always love talking to people their first year when they get back and say, man, I was expecting a lot, but it is even more, or whatever. I love hearing, what happened. And luckily Budget's going to be staying with us. And so we'll get to kind of have those after action reports every night, which is a cool thing. But I remember when Clover and I, in our first year, it was G-Webs, like, every morning at 7. That's where we started the whole 7:30 morning breakfast every morning. Was G when it is there at 7:30 the next morning, so that we could talk about what happened the day before, and it was great. It was awesome.
Instrumental for us was G-Webs, and we can't forget Jeff with Gear Report too. I mean, both
Jeff and Gear Report.
I mean, by and large, G. Don't get me wrong. G's the OG. He's the Godfather. And
he is the Godfather.
Would not be, well, for better or worse, probably where I am today without G. But Jeff, as far as shot show and navigation and things like that, Jeff with Gear Report played a big role early on too.
I'm gonna put a name out there. As much as it kills me, at least for the first year, he was instrumental in talking about maybe some work ethic stuff. As much as it kills me, Tac Daddy did help out a lot that first year.
This is true. Tac Daddy for me was more of an NRA thing.
We found out a lot of stuff after that I know, but
Kevin,
I will give the guy credit. Kevin helped out a little bit that first year on how to maneuver some stuff and how to do things. I don't want to sit there and say he was completely worthless, because he wasn't that first year. Now, after that, it's a whole different issue.
For me, Kevin came into play and was a really big help post shot show with NRA.
Yeah,
for me,
that's what I'm talking about. But that first year, he did help a lot with how to maneuver through some of the stuff, and he was actually a very big help on taking the contacts that we made and taking that next step. And he was very good at that.
Kevin was. Tac Daddy sucks, but Kevin was.
Yeah, you're right. Kevin
was.
was. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, all right, guys. Damn, I was trying to get out of here at 2 hours. 2 hours and 22 minutes. If you're still alive out there, thank you so much for the people that are live out there. You're not getting your money back. Sorry, it's spent. It's all gone. If you're watching this in replay or listening to this in podcast and you've made it 2 hours and 22 minutes, God bless you. You might want to go get your head checked. I'm pretty sure you got some issues you need cleared up in your head. But I'm a decently nice guy. I know that I'm an asshole. I get that. I understand that. But I do have, like, there is a part, like, I'm like Vader. I still got a little bit of good in me. Not much, but I got a little bit of good left in me, anyways.
That's just rebel scum propaganda.
Exactly.
Vader did not return to the light.
No, he did not return to the light. But he did have, I'm not going to say he had some good or he had some light in him. He still had a little bit of Anakin. He wasn't all Vader. Anakin was still there.
He was the badass Lord of the Sith, and that's the way it is. No rebel propaganda.
Yeah.
In my world, he went out a badass.
There you go. Eat crayons, 100%. There you go. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thanks so much for watching, listening, all that stuff. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, share this, subscribe, go follow us on Instagram. There's no reason to go to Facebook anymore because it doesn't matter. But yeah, thank you so much. We're on Twitter technically, but I don't do anything. Most of my Instagram stuff goes to Twitter. So it looks like I have a presence on Twitter, but I think Twitter's a weird place, so I don't go there very often. But yeah, follow me on that stuff. More importantly, go follow Chris from the 740, Clover Tack, the Gun Snob, MK Outdoor. Let's see here. Go Chicago Mike the Shooter. Yeah, go check these guys out, and we will see you soon. We'll see you next Tuesday. Semper Fi.